Hello and welcome to Mainline Baits Carp Fishing TV and a brand new feature for the channel, Bait Focus. We're going to be taking a look at different baits, different products from the range, what they've been designed for, all the little edges and tweaks that the team like to use, everything that you need to know. Okay, so today we're taking a look at some special little hook baits, the Cork Dust WAFTERS and the Cork Dust pop-ups. Now they're available in 3 different flavours, Sail, Essential Sail and the Link. So they're made using the same flavours and ingredients that are used to make those boilies, but as the name suggests, with the inclusion of some cork dust. And the cork dust is in there to give you a little bit of buoyancy with the wafter and much more buoyancy when it comes to the pop-ups. And you may remember seeing Daryl Peck turn to the wafters in the Carp project last year. He started off his session on the quarry fishing with little pop-ups, but felt like he should be getting more bites than what he'd had. So he wanted to fish much closer to the deck. He'd been using the Link boilies as a feed, so he then turned to the Link Cork Dust wafter, but he wanted one just a bit brighter, maybe attract a little bit more attention, so he used one in the Essential Sail as well.
So, it's the second day, and looking back, reflecting on what sort of happened overnight and this morning, and 2 takes, yeah, it's not to be sniffed at. It's a reasonable result, but I feel it's a very clean spot out there, very clean, perfect for presenting a bit of feed over and 3 rods. And I just think that I could have possibly caught more. You know, it wasn't to do with the activity or anything like that. I just feel that maybe I might have been getting some rejections, and what I mean by that is, you know, these are pressured fish. They've been fished for with bright hook baits, and by having a bright hook bait popped off the bottom, obviously it's one of the first ones that can be spotted, but it's also the most obvious one that's the hook bait. So when I'm thinking like that, is that a thing that I could be changing, I look to go towards a more natural coloured bait or a bait fished on the bottom. I don't really tend to fish straight bottom baits these days. I prefer to fish a wafter, so it is on the bottom, it's sort of resting there, but by having that degree of buoyancy, it's negating the weight of the hook, and in this case the quick change swivel that I'm using. So yeah, the bait is light, fish should be able to suck it up easy, but it's not off the bottom, so that's the real key. You know, it's not. I'm trying to avoid rejections, fish thinking that's obviously the hook bait. I want them to notice it, and that's why I've gone for a yellow one on one rod. You know, I've got the Essential Sail on one rod and the Link Cork wafter on the other. So the Link is a complete match to what I'm feeding, and if they're actively searching it out, then there's no reason for them not to take that. But also, if you want them to find it quickly, you know, in a situation, there's obviously a few fish out there, quite a bit of feed, and I don't want them to have to eat all of the bait before they find the hook bait. So by trying the yellow one, that will stand out, but it will still be on the bottom, so there's no reason in my mind for a carp to reject that.
But these hook baits aren't just limited to this style of fishing. A couple of years ago I was over on Oxley's Lake on the Linear Complex, and I was fishing solid PVA bags, and I really wanted a hook bait that was just going to sit nice and close to that little pile of pellet once my bag melted. So I was using the Cork Dust WAFTERS in the Essential Sail and the Link flavour, and lucky enough on that spring session, which was a bit of a tough one to be honest, I did manage a few fish, and one of which was one of the biggest in the lake. Lovely old mirror, well over 40 pounds. So as you can imagine, I was absolutely made up on that session.
And there we go, absolute cracker from Oxley's. This fish weighed 41 pounds, 2 ounces. I'm absolutely made up with this. Start the season with a 40 pounder, absolutely made up. Let's see if we can get a little bit better position. There we go, lovely fish. Springtime has well and truly started.
When it comes to rig presentation and these hook baits, things couldn't be any simpler. In the case of the wafters, all you need is the weight of your hook and your rig to just slowly sink that hook bait down to the lake bed.
A hook bait that's been fantastic for me this spring is the Cork Dust WAFTERS from Mainline. If you test these hook baits out in the water, you'll see they sit perfectly without any addition to shot or putty. But if you are having a few dramas and the hook's sitting that little bit too proud for you, just simply give it a little squeeze and the hook will soon flatten off. Now the rig I've been using for the Cork Dust WAFTERS could not be simpler. It simply comprises of a size 8 hook, some 15-pound braid and a 6-turn knotless knot. I then simply tie the hair off with some PVA tape so it doesn't tangle, hook my bag on and you're good to go.
We all use different presentations, different types of rigs, different components, different hook sizes. Some of us glug hook baits, all things that can affect the balanced nature of the hook bait. So you may find that you need to tweak the hook bait just that little bit to get it exactly as you like it. Personally, I like to add a little bit of lead core wire to the hook link down near the hook, and then mould a little bit of putty around that, and I find that my hook bait then sits absolutely perfectly. So whatever type of presentation you like to use with these type of hook baits, just always make sure that you check your rig in the edge before casting out.
And then with the pop-ups, they're extremely buoyant. They're really good for if you're using heavy rigs, chod rig, the hinge rig, and of course the ever popular spinner rig. So there you go. 2 hook baits that if I was a boilie angler I'd 100% have in my kit bag, and if I was a fan of the spinner rig, or if I was fishing tricky situations with weed or silt, anything like that on the bottom, then again I'd certainly have some of these buoyant hook baits in my tackle bag. If you'd like any more information about these hook baits, write in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer any of your questions. I'll also put a link to the website so that you can take a closer look at this product. And of course, if you'd like to watch Daryl Peck in action using the Cork Dust Wafters, I'll put a link to the Carp project as well. Thanks for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you like it, subscribe if you don't subscribe already, and I'll see you in the next video.